Patrick, huge weekend. We're going to look ahead to Saturday at the Dublin Racing Festival. First race, the Grade 1 Novice Hurdle. Predator's Gold's favourite horse you rode last time, and you've got an interesting ride against him in Arkle. How do you see the race?
Yeah, very competitive race. Look, Predator's Gold ran a cracker last time behind Caldwell Potter. 2 miles was probably on the short side for him, but it was very heavy ground, so that helped negate that. He's not an ex-point or an ex-French horse. That was only his second run of hurdles, and he made a mistake the last. I don't think we were catching Caldwell Potter, but we would have finished closer. And I would think stepping up to 2 miles 6 will really suit him. He settles well. He jumps well. I think he'll improve from running over 2 miles. Staying up to 2.6 should make it easier for him to jump. And he's obviously the one to beat. Paul is very keen to get back on him. I ride Loughlin. He beat Firefox in the bumper in Naas. He stays very well. He won his maiden hurdle when a lot of ours weren't winning. I like that. That was a good sign to me. He wasn't beaten overly far in the champ bumper last year, and obviously he won probably a messy race down in Limerick, very heavy ground, but turned into a bit of a sprint. And I was actually good to see him. I know he was sprinting with slow staying horses, but it was good to see him show that bit of turn of pace. But I wouldn't discount I'll Be Bay at all. He's a horse has always worked very well. He got a little break there after a summer campaign and beat My Trump Card and maiden hurdle very impressively. He has a little touch of class. He settles. He's next point of pointer. So it is very competitive, but obviously Predator's Gold is the number one.
Big stable turnout in the spring juvenile. Paul's on Storm Heart. Would he be top of your pecking order at the minute?
Well, look, what he did in Punchestown, the turn of foot he showed, and he looked like his jumping will come on for it as well. He was the obvious choice. So he stands top of the pile at the moment, but Malsborough is a horse I like quite a lot. He'd remind me of Jackadam. He's not a real juvenile looking horse. He'll tower above all of these now in the parade ring. He's really a chasing sort. And he's having to start off in Grade 1. That's not easy. So while tomorrow mightn't be his day, he's definitely one to keep an eye on going forward. He does have huge ability. Bunting and High Wind won well. High Wind jumping will need to come on a bit. Bunting was very impressive again down in Limerick. This is a big step up in class. I wouldn't completely discount Ethical Diamond. We were very disappointed with him at Christmas, and maybe he just ran a bit keen, but he is a lot better than that. And then Carrigeese obviously ran very well. Leopardstown again was far too keen. She'll need to settle better. She's quite similar to Gallimar. So, but for me, Storm Heart is the one that ticks all the boxes, jumps, settles, one has the experience, and I think Paul is very happy riding him.
What about Facile Vega in the team taking on Marine Nationale in that Irish Arkle?
Yeah, look, he obviously didn't turn up at Christmas. He got a fair bump at the first, and then, but even with all that, I was disappointed. I thought when we jumped second last, I thought we'd win, and maybe he didn't let himself down. The ground was quite quick on Stephen's Day. It was kind of yielding ground. Obviously got softer during the week, but whichever way, he didn't turn up. So his work on Tuesday in the Curragh was excellent. Paul thought it was as good as he's ever worked. And I think Marine Nationale looked very slick over fences at Christmas. And obviously he beat us, I thought, probably fair and square in the Supreme Novices. So it's going to be difficult. But I do think you'll see the real Facile Vega back, and it'll certainly be a race to sabre.
Talking about that, we've got Galloping de Champ in the Irish Gold Cup. Fast or slow is in there this time. It wasn't at Christmas. How hopeful would you be we'll see the same sort of fireworks from Galloping as we saw in the Savills Chase?
Yeah, well, look, he seems to come out of Christmas maybe even better than he went into it. I suppose there's always a little worry in the back of your head, like such a huge performance like that mid-season, does it leave a mark? But it doesn't appear to have. We're very happy with him, and small fields shouldn't bother him. But look, Fast and Slow has beaten us the last twice, and I do think obviously John Durkin outfit didn't jump for whatever reason. Something was niggling him on the day, but I thought he beat us pretty fair and square in the Punchestown Gold Cup. So look, it's going to be a fascinating contest. I'm not sure you can expect a performance like Christmas again, but I think it's brilliant for racing that they're taking one each other on in the Irish Gold Cup before going over to Cheltenham. But I don't think we wouldn't swap our fella.
I just found it the bumper. You wouldn't be expecting to face the Punchestown and Cheltenham bump winner the previous season. You do with the Dream to Share. He's in here. You'll ride Redemption Day, another horse with lots of experience.
Yeah, look, a fascinating race, and whether obviously Redemption Day is coming back as well, having been placed in Punchestown bumper, and whether there needs to be a slight change in rules, I don't know, but I think it'll be a fascinating race nevertheless. Obviously Dream to Share sets the standard. Look, I've gone for Redemption Day purely on his form with Fasavega and Punch, and that was the best form out of our horses. I thought he just blew up at Christmas quite clearly. He ran a bit keen. I was trying to hold on to him. When I let go of him, then he just blown up. And Gordon seems to think that's the best of his horses. So I'd like to think we could improve from that run. Am I sure I'm on the right one? I'm not. I think Joystick and You Ought to Know are two very good horses. They're much bigger, stronger types of horses than Redemption Day. He's a speed horse. Joystick obviously won over 2.5 at Christmas. And looked like he needed all of it. But Back to File was similar last year. He won the 2.5 and looked outpaced and got back up. So I think Joystick's come on an awful lot from that. Definitely think he's overpriced. And You Ought to Know, look, it's summer form, but he did beat Croke Park in Quebegan. So Croke Park sets a fair standard. He won a Grade 3 hurdle. You Ought to Know is another horse that had a little break, is coming back. And I think this track, trip and ground, everything will suit him. So I'm far from certain that I'm on the right one. And I wouldn't be at all surprised should Joystick or You Ought to Know come past me. But I think it'll be very hard for anyone to get past the Dream to Share.